I think so too. Hi everyone, my name is Taylor, my middle name is Lynn, and I'm the owner of Mint by Lynn, which is a clothing and accessory shop on Etsy, so definitely come check me out. This past fall, I ended up taking a break and going to Europe. I had no plans of traveling at all this year. I wanted to focus on my business and making sure that I'm putting enough time and money and resources into that, right? My girlfriend's cousin found really cheap tickets. I think they were less than or about $400 per person to take flights to and from Barcelona. So we started off at JFK airport and we took a flight to Barcelona. It was about a 7.5 hour flight. It was so warm and so dry. Julie and I were in dire need of water the entire time. And what was really funny was that the cart with the people giving drinks out was coming by, and then they completely skipped over us. They just kept walking, and we were like, uh. So we had to go hunt somebody down to get a cup of water, but also we did have water, but you know, with the Owala bottles and flying, you know that every time you open them, my girlfriend kept forgetting about the pressure and then it would just explode all over her. And this happened twice on the flight and I was like, dude, whatever. I also got like coughed and sneezed on like 12 times by the people next to me. Cool, very cool. We then had a long layover and took our second flight over to Marco Polo Airport at Venice. We grabbed our bus tickets for the next morning and finally made our way to go grab some dinner because, oh my god, we were so hungry. We did not get fed on that flight. My favorite dish of the evening was the pistachio carbonara pasta. It was so yummy. We also got I think a prosciutto pizza, and it was my first time like seeing the pizza uncut, like there's no slice or anything, and we were just looking at it like, oh my god. I had never seen that before. When I studied abroad in Rome, I'd always gotten the al taglio pizza, which is like by the slice, so they would like weigh it and that's how you would pay for it, right? After the yummy meal, we ended up walking to our first lodging for the trip, and that ended up being glamping, and I did not remember that this was a thing. Not in a bad way or anything, but I just got there and we all hopped on a cart and drove over to our cabin, and I was like, oh, this is cute, what the heck? There were definitely a bunch of mosquitoes, but after the long traveling, we all pretty much passed out pretty quick. So day 2, we are going to Venice. So excited. Okay, so I was also excited just to look around where we were glamping because you couldn't see anything. It was so late at night, and there were so many slugs everywhere. Okay, I love snails and slugs. I think they're the cutest things ever, so that just made me happy. Also, when you look at all the cabins around, it kind of reminds me of like Camp Half-Blood from Percy Jackson, because they were all just kind of like in a circle, which was kind of fun. And then me being me, I was like, okay, I bought some watercolors and like a whole thing, and I was like, I'm gonna draw every day and do like a landscape or something. And yeah, that was so far-fetched. I never had time to do any of that. After we said goodbye to all the cats around the camp, we walked to the bus station that was like right outside our place. And you know what? I guess there was a translation error because we had talked to the people at the airport being like, hey, if we buy this ticket, will this get us on at this stop to get into Venice? And I think they misunderstood and we had bought that, but that one didn't work where we were. So we ended up just figuring out tap to pay. I had never used tap to pay on my phone. I don't want it because then I'll spend more money, whatever. But now I am a modern woman and we used the tap to pay to get onto the bus to head into Venice. So as we were going on our bus ride, we crossed over the Venice Bridge where Giacchio attacked Giorno and Mista in JoJo Part 5. And then, yeah, the city is so beautiful, dude. When we got there, I was walking around and everything was just so nostalgic to me and all in my time that I had spent in Italy many years ago. Our first mission was breakfast, so we got some pastries, and then we had walked to grab some chichetti, and I got a lemon soda, which was pretty yummy. We had walked down a little bit further and found the gelato place that our friends wanted to grab. Julie and I shared a fruity di Bosco mixed with yogurt passion fruit gelato, which was so yummy. I think that the main thing that we ended up doing in Venice was just trying a bunch of foods. Then we ended up in a chocolate store, and okay, these ladies were the best saleswomen I've ever seen in my life. They had trays upon trays of free samples, and they were constantly giving us food. And I mean, it worked on us, right? I ended up buying a box of chocolates to take back to my family for Thanksgiving this year. Kevin ended up buying a 40 € truffle salt, which is so funny to me. After that, we walked to the Ponte di Rialto, St. Mark's Basilica, and Piazza San Marco. We ended up stopping for lunch after that and grabbing some Nero di Seppia pasta. That was so good. Okay, so it's like cuttlefish ink pasta.
Oh my god.
And they have like parts of cuttlefish in it. Ooh, this is gonna be the start of discovering my love for cuttlefish, I guess. After that, I'd always wanted to try arancini when I was in Rome, but I never got the chance to, so I finally got the chance this time. It was only okay. But it was alright, it was alright. And then we grabbed the bus back to the airport where we picked up our rental car and started on our way to the Dolomites. It was a 3.5-hour drive. But along the way, we ended up stopping at a grocery store as well as getting a really decent meal. The calamari there was the best I've ever had. It was not chewy, it was lightly breaded. It was so good. And then we finally got to our home base for the evening, which was really cute because they have a whole balcony and everything, so I'm excited to see what it looks like in the morning. Alright, so day 3, we are going through the left side of the Dolomites, and to start off our day, our host made us some breakfast, which was really, really nice, and I got to try all of their homemade jams and everything. Everything was super fresh, like farm to table. Then we headed off to our first hike, which was at Saseda. Julie immediately forgot everything she was carrying back at the hotel, so whatever I had in my bag was what we were going to deal with for the day.
Smooth right now, I can't get smooth. Can you imagine mowing this? Like, that's crazy. It's such a steep angle. I know there's a guy that asked you for 5 euros, but you could also go around to get up to this place. Just pay the money. Just pay it. It's such a... Oh, it was so hard to get up here. Oh my god, guys, it's the end of the map. There's nothing left. Oh my god. Oh, I hear him. That's crazy. It's so scary, guys. Oh my god, it's literally like the cliff. We bought these rain pants and they're so warm. We just had them balled up in our bag because it did start raining, but they're so warm. Oh. Maybe one day. It's seriously so pretty. Oh my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we went up here. We were up here. We went all the way down, around, came back, down there, all the way back up to here. Ay, ay, ay.
So Saseda was our first hike and it ended up being one of our hardest ones of the whole trip, which I think was kind of funny. It made me realize just how out of shape I was. So it took us about 3 hours to walk 4.5 miles. It was so beautiful though. I mean, there was a little bit of that like morning fog. It did lighten up a little bit, seeing all the farm animals and everything. It was really, really beautiful. So after we finished the hike, we drove up the sketchiest road I've ever seen. That could definitely only fit one car one way along the side of the mountain. And at the top of it, there was a cute little German restaurant. And there was a cat there who was constantly on us begging for food, but he was really cute. He was really cute, okay? I tried the Schultzkrafen, which is like a spinach ravioli kind of thing. And I really like the beef stew a lot. And then we headed off to our second hike, which is the Adolf Munkel Trail. And I actually really, really enjoyed this hike. And it was really foggy here, so we couldn't really see the mountain at all until the end. But during this hike, I kind of went ahead of everybody. I don't know what propelled me to do this, but I kind of just like was kind of alone by myself in the nature on the trail. And it was the first inner peace I have found with myself literally since the ryokan in Japan a whole year ago.
Oh my god. Spotted it from a distance, but like, there's snow here. It's not snow. It's not snow.
Hi, snow.
It's rock.
Oh my god. A little guy in nature.
It's the not snow. But this rock is really nice. I think we're crossing the meadow. I think we're gonna go up that way. Hi, beautiful. I love these little houses and the flowers and the little, yeah, it's so cute, so cute. Ooh. Oh, this guy. Everything's giving me Percy Jackson vibes.
Me out there. I should be out there within the line.
We ended up on a third hike, which was an hour trail to like see a church view.
One last stop in our day. It's that church right up there. It's supposed to be a 20-minute walk from here, but my legs are already pretty shot. But look how cute this house is. Oh my god.
And we totally missed the sunset for this. So we didn't get to the site that we were supposed to like see, but it was fine. It was fine. It was such a long day of hikes. I think we hiked for a total of about 10 hours. All of our feet were broken considering it was literally day one. It was pretty bad, but it was a great day nonetheless. All right, so day 4, we are going to the right side of the Dolomites, so we're getting a new hotel and everything. We started our trek at Lake Caresi. Sorry if I'm saying anything wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, the water here was so green. And the Instagram girlies here were absolutely ridiculous. I literally was just like looking at these girls being like, oh my god. I doubt any of them hiked anything there. They probably just went to all, I don't know. You know what? Who am I to judge? Whatever. I just thought it was really funny and really ridiculous how they were all there. Whatever. And then after that, we ended up in the car for another few hours. I found that during this trip, it was better for me to be unconscious anytime we were in the car, honestly, because the roads were so windy. Like, I was getting so motion sick in the back that it was just better for me to be knocked out than anything else, okay? I had a really, really good lasagna at Al Forte, which is where we went for lunch. And then we were told later this was an Austrian fort from World War I, which was quite interesting. We then ended up at Trecime di Lavaredo, And for some reason, there was a T-Rex statue here, and I thought that was so funny and so cool of them. So we ended up doing a really short walk because, again, our feet were kind of destroyed from the day before. There was a long hike that we could have done, but we had decided against it. And of course, the cousins were crazy and climbed 270 feet straight up to one of the caves while we're up there, which I thought was kind of funny, but you know, they did it, and they did it pretty quick too. I was pretty surprised. And after this, we finally made it to our hotel for the rest of our Dolomites trip, and this one was really chaotic because, I don't think this was the host's fault, but there happened to be a region-wide outage, like power outage, and we couldn't get a hold of anybody at the place, so we ended up sitting in front of the place for 2 hours. Okay, and then we finally got in contact with the guy, and it turns out he was in the building the whole time. Literally, what? So I guess he hadn't heard us like knocking on the door or anything. Whatever. In the end, we did get let in and ended up being fine. We had a place to stay, we got some dinner, and called it a night. So day 5 was actually pretty fun. We ended up having a pretty packed day. So we started at Lago di Brace. And it was a really fun boat ride. So we got there early. We were able to get, I think we were literally like the last ones to get a boat in the first round of people. So that was great. And we got 2 free magnets, dude. I think our oars were also like so much heavier than everyone else's. Like we were looking at all the other boats and their oars didn't look as heavy. And we were like, bruh, it was so tiring, but it was so fun. So it's whatever. And then we finished up there and we headed to Cortina. Julie and Kevin grabbed their gear to go climb the Via Ferrata, while Kitty and I grabbed a bus to go to a spa day. So then we got to the spa and we both ended up getting leg massages, and boy, did it hurt. This guy definitely knew what he was doing, but also, geez. At the end of the massage, he asked me if, he was like, oh, was that too rough? And I was like, yeah, but also I probably needed it, so it's fine. And he started laughing, so it was like, whatever. And I will say, post the massage, my legs did feel pretty good. So then after that, I tried to get into the sauna, and I sat in there for like 2 minutes and was like, I gotta get out of here. It was it felt like I could not breathe. It was such like, it felt dry, which was weird, like a dry moist heat. I don't know how to explain it. I'll also mention that like Kitty and I were like the only ones in this whole spa. I mean, we were there like on a random weekday in the morning. So then I went to the pool, and the pool was kind of fun. They had like different stations around the pool that had different like jets and things like that. I really liked the waterfall one and had it just like hitting the back of my neck here. That was really sick. But yeah, there was an area where I was getting jostled around so much by the jets that I couldn't help but just start laughing. It was fun. It was a good time. I also just like swimming. After that, we made our way back to Cortina to meet up with the other two. They had a good climb. They ran out of water like 2/3 up the mountain. So that's cool for them, I guess. And then on their way down, they were saying that was the most brutal part. And then Julie, I think, wrecked her ankle at that point, and it was a whole thing. But they all made it back safe. They had a good time, so that's good for me. Alright, day 6 was our final day in the Dolomites. So our original plan was to hike Lake Serapis, which was a 6-hour hike. And we ended up not doing that. One, because they were really tired from their Via Ferrata the day before. And Kitty and I were just like, whatever. Whatever we feel like. When we woke up in the morning, it was pouring, so it probably would have made the hike pretty difficult anyway. After grabbing some coffee and some brioche, we went to Cinque Torri, and I actually really enjoyed this one too. It was pretty neat, and it had a lot of World War I history there, and so it just felt like there were a lot of things to explore and things to do, and it was really, really pretty there. I also just can't imagine having a war in the mountains. This is nice over here.
Oh my goodness, so many dogs.
Where do they shoot out?
Oh my god. This is basically what our partners were doing yesterday. Just scaling the mountain. How did she even get up there?
It's like the perfect amount of clouds, you know?
But after that, we ended up going to a German grill, which basically had some burgers. Julie got a giant beer because she just wanted to try the German beer and she did not like it. So next up, we went to the Fun Bob. All right, so in theory, this was supposed to be a really fun one, right? But I don't know how worth it was, personally. So it's 22 euro per person just to go up the gondola. Okay, and then it was another 20 euro to go down on the Fun Bob. Okay, so just that in itself is already really expensive. Okay, that's probably like 45, 46 USD, right? Oh, the gondola made me kind of mad, only because there were so many parts where it forced you to brake, like all the time going down, when I thought I would get to just like gun it down the hill, and that would have been so fun for me, but it's fine. After that, we went to a cheese museum just because we had some time left. We did get there a little bit later in the day, so we didn't get to really see too much about the cheese museum, but the self-guided tour was cute, and we picked up some yogurts and things like that to eat before we hit our plane the next day. And then on our way back, we did see a rainbow, which was kind of cute and a good ending of our last day in the Dolomites. Day 7, we were traveling to Barcelona. Okay, so we ended up getting up at like 4:30 in the morning because we had a long drive back to Marco Polo Airport in Venice, where we had to return our rental car and then get our flight. So the flight itself was totally fine, but then when we landed, we kind of got lost in the airport. I don't really know what happened. I guess we took a wrong turn or the signage was weird. Whatever. We ended up in an area where we didn't realize we were supposed to go, and then the staff gave us some sass, but we ended up back on track. The train tickets were kind of weird too, but we made it on. We finally got on and we made our way into the city center where we met our really nice Airbnb lady, and then we finally headed out to grab some more food. So this would be our first plate of paella. We definitely liked the seafood paella over the pork and mushroom one. The croquettes were so good. We got a monkfish and a chicken one, and they were both like really, really yummy. Julie then found some prickly pears at a stand nearby and didn't realize they were prickly pears and got cactus needles all in her hands. Well, she ended up buying some, and they were actually pretty good. Neither of us had ever had it before, but yeah, it was just kind of funny. I think the store clerk thought she was insane and crazy because even he wouldn't touch them, and that should have been our sign, right? But I guess we're just dumb, I don't know. So then after that, we headed over to Parkwell, which was really nice. Where should we watch the sunset? after our time there, we just kind of walked to the city a little bit until we found a place that sold tapas. We got some patatas bravas, beef cheek pad, and cuttlefish and seafood salad. Did really like the beef cheek though. It tasted like my own pot roast that I make at home, so that was nice. Our second day in Barcelona started with Costa Brava, so we ended up buying a whole guided tour. This was a 3-in-1 adventure with kayaking, snorkeling, and cliff jumping. I never thought in my life that I would go cliff jumping ever because I am afraid of heights, so he took us through 3 different levels.
Go. Whee. There you go. Ready. Wee-ha!
I did not do the last level. That was all Kevin and Julie.
I can't believe we went cliff jumping. Oh my god. Yeah, Julie lost her GoPro. It used to be right there.
I lost my
But
GoPro.
she went too high. She went too high.
Pretty cool experience, I'm not gonna lie. I would do it again. When we got back to shore, Julie and I walked the boardwalk and grabbed some strawberry and lemon gelato from a place called Pink. And it was so yummy. I don't know if it's because we were like out in the sun on the water the whole morning or what, but like this gelato was comparable to the fruity Tabasco that we had in Venice. It was so yummy. And then when we all got back to the bus, I think almost all of us, if not all of us, immediately fell asleep on the bus back to the city. When we got back to the city, I ended up walking in my really ugly water shoes around because I forgot to grab other shoes. And we found the Sagrada Familia in Casa Batlló. I don't know if I said that correctly, but yes. And this was honestly more for me to grab my Yuri on Ice photos than anything else. The boys went there for their Grand Prix final in the series, so of course I had to go recreate the photos as much as I could, right? I then went to probably my favorite restaurant of this entire trip, which was Tapeo. Now I really recommend getting reservations for this place because we watched them turn away many people. The bombeta was my favorite. It was so good. And close second was the fidua. I don't know how to say that, so sorry. But it was a cuttlefish noodle paella and it was so good. This confirmed my love for Cuttlefish Inc. foods, okay? It was so good, dude. We did also try some snail and rabbit there. Julie also tried their Lastal vermouth drink, and that was actually pretty yummy, even though it was really strong. Julie and I ended the night by just walking around the city after dark, and then we finally reached our final day, okay? We're already going home. On our last day, we didn't do too much, but we did go to the Mercat de la Boqueria, and there Julie went ham. She went and tried as many things as she possibly could, from like giant shrimps to barnacles, and there was a duo who were making these like really fancy, I think they were oysters, and then this really fancy shrimp. Julie said it kind of had like a peach flavor. She said it was one of her favorite things she had the whole trip. Finally, she got like a mini garlic octopus. This one ended up smelling really good, but the taste was kind of a lot. We visited our last bakeries of the trip, and then I grabbed a cute mug from a local artist to put some plants in at home. And then finally we grabbed lunch at a ramen place, which is kind of funny, but also it was not good. After that, we ended up making our way back to the States, and all in all, it turned into a great time. Thank you, Kevin and Kitty, for inviting us on this trip, and yeah, good memories. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all those things so that we can hang out again soon, yeah? Okay, bye!